Welcome to Flash Tutorial Request 129, Play Against the Computer Part 2. It's a follow-up to Part 1, which was Tutorial 128, and that's what I have opened on my computer. We're going to start by, I'm on Scene 1, and we're going to add some frames here so that it'll give us a sort of like a countdown. So let's lock all the layers, select this COM mix layer, insert a layer, and call this the start, S-T-A-R-T, and click and drag right down like this, all of these, got them all, and I want to take them up to about 75, frame 75. There we go. Come back to here, and I'm on the start layer. Pick up your text tool, and the text is the fill here, so I'm going to go with a red and make a text box. Open the properties panel, make sure that classic text is selected, make sure static text is selected. You can have it to be any font you want. I'm using Times New Roman, and I got regular. You got to click this embed and make sure you got upper, lower, numerals and punctuations. Okay, and this is the size of the font, and I got red. And in here I'm going to type game will start in 3. I'm not saying what units they are, just in 3. Game will start in 3. And we're running 24 frames a second, so I'm going up to frame 25. So this is basically in seconds. Insert a keyframe. Change this 3 to a 2. Go up to the 50 frame. Insert a keyframe. Make this a 1. And I don't need it to be in here. It stops here. So let's open the actions frame right here. Open the actions panel. Go to the very top and put a stop. S-T-O-P, open, close bracket, semicolon. So let's see if this works. Control, test movie. Starts in 3, 2, 1, start, and I can play the game. Let's deal with the fact that the player wins. Lock all the layers, select the start layer, insert layer, call it win, W-I-N. Come up to this frame 76, insert a blank keyframe. Pick up your text tool again. I'm just going to stick with my red and write you, big capitals, you win. Now we have to tell the code that. So go back to your action script, open the actions panel, go way down to where we do the last test, hit test, where ingredient 3 is put in. Click at the end of that code and type this code. Go to and stop, small g, small t, capital A, capital S. That'll turn blue if it's spelt right. Open bracket 76, that's where we got that you win. Close bracket semicolon, and let's see if that works. Okay, bring this one down, you win, and it stops. And I got this error 1009, and that's because on my timeline it's stopped here, but it's looking for anything that's in here that's movie clips or something that we have code on. So let's click here And let's go right down like this. Insert keyframes. Let's test that out again and make sure we don't have that 1009 error. 2, 1, game started. 1 item, 2 items, 3 items. You win, and I don't have the error. Now, if you want to, I'm going to click on here and just move this. You win here. If you don't want to see all this when you say you win, you can highlight them one at a time, or you can select them all and drag them off the stage. But this is okay for me. We want to do something similar if the computer wins. So I'm locking all these layers on my scene 1. Going to the library, computer mix. And we want to be at the end of that. Right around here somewhere. And if I look, that's where it changes colors right there. So let's lock all these layers. Select this layer. Insert a layer. COM as in computer, WIN. Computer wins. Right click, convert to a blank keyframe, and pick up the text tool. Capital letters, and this should be the same setup as this. You can change it if you want, but so we don't have to embed it again because it's already done. And here, COMPUTE, computer wins. And we don't have to write code for this because it actually jumps here when the computer wins. So let's test this out. I'll try to make the player win first. 1, 2, 3. You win. And then let's try and let the computer win. 1, 2, 3. And see, I can still draw this, and it didn't stop on that. Okay, so the 2 problems. Select the top layer here, this cursor layer. Insert layer, action script, AS. Select this last frame, convert to a blank keyframe. Open the actions panel, stop, S-T-O-P, open close bracket, semicolon. Let's see what happens when the computer wins. One, 2, 3, computer wins, but I think I can still move these. Let's go back to the main timeline and make sure all the layers are locked. Select the win layer, insert a layer, lose, L-O-S-E, and select this next frame, insert a blank or a keyframe, either one, and this is where we're going to jump to when the computer wins. So we can't select these ingredients as the player anymore. I know if I don't bring these all here up to that frame, I'm going to get that 1009 error. Click here, down in one sweep all the way down. Make sure you got them all. Right click, insert keyframes. That brings all those items up to here. Unlock all the layers, except this one here, this computer mix. So that gives me all these things. Make the stage 25% so you can see it. Highlight it, those ingredients, and drag them off the stage. So that should satisfy that when we jump to this frame 77, that's frame 77. Let's go back to the computer mix and open up the actions panel, that actions layer right there. And here, there's a stop. If there's not, put it in, but I think we have one. And type in this code. Movie clip, capital M, capital C, turns blue if it's spelt right. Open bracket, parent, that in this case means the main timeline. Open bracket, parent, P-A-R-E-N-T, turns blue if it's spelt right. It's a small p. Close bracket, period, go to and stop. Small g, small t, capital A, capital S, turns blue. Open bracket 77, close bracket, semicolon. And this should work. 3, 1, no errors, and I can drag these. There's one, and now as soon as I jump here, they should disappear. So I can't drag them, the computer wins. That's good. Now let's see what happens when the player wins. We'll have something similar, I believe. If the player wins, I got to find a way of stopping the computer from going. Okay, so let's open up the computer mix. There it is. Oh, we're already on it. To the timeline, and make sure all the layers are locked. Select the cursor layer, insert a layer. This will be the lose layer for the computer, L-O-S-E. Right here, insert a blank keyframe or a keyframe. There needs to be nothing on it because there's no code for buttons or anything here. And that is frame number 182 for me, 182. I'm gonna write that down, 182. So now go back to scene, main scene, and I want the action script here. Open the actions panel. So down here, this is when we win, where we bring down the last ingredient. On the main timeline, we go to where it says you win. And here, we also want to go to the computer mix movie clip. C-O-M, I think that's what it's called. Capital M-I-X, period, computer mix, period, G-O-T-O, capital A-N-D, capital S-T-O-P, open bracket, I think I said 182, 182, close bracket, semicolon. Computer mix underscore MC. Now, if I check here for a minute, it's called computer mix underscore MC, but for this to work, I have to make sure that the computer knows that I'm talking about this computer mix. So go back to the timeline, and where is that at? The computer mix right here. This is where I bring it on the stage right here. If I see it's highlighted, lock all the layers. Unlock that computer mix layer, highlight it, open up the properties panel, and it doesn't have an instance name. So in here, write C-O-M, C-O-M-P. Good, I'm glad I looked. C-O-M-P, capital M-I-X, shift underscore MC. So I'll have to go correct that. In my action code here, it's C-O-M-P. Now, let's see if I got some. I'm sure something's going to not work. 3, 2, 1. I'm going to let the computer win first. 1, 2, 3. Computer wins and I can't move anything. That's good. This time the player's going to win, and hopefully things go right. 1, 2, 3, you win, and the computer is not doing anything. And that looks good for me. Hope you learned something from these 2 tutorials, and I hope you use what you learned.